Welcome to Everyday English Class. Here is a quick question. Someone asks you in English, "So what do you do for fun?" Can you answer with more than just one word? Not just football or music or cooking, but a real answer, a confident answer, one that actually starts a conversation.
Most English learners have hobbies they love, but when it comes to talking about them in English, the words just do not come. Today, that changes completely.
My name is Grace.
And my name is Peter.
If you are enjoying this 30-day journey with us, please give this video a like.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a day.
Yesterday, on day 4, we talked about work and career. Today, we are moving into something much more personal and joyful.
Today, we are talking about hobbies and interests, the things you do not because you have to, but because you genuinely love to.
And here is our question for today. Think about it now, and we will come back to it at the very end.
What is one hobby or interest that you would happily talk about for hours? Just one. Hold that thought.
Let's get started. So, Peter, what do you do in your free time?
Well, my biggest hobby right now is photography. I have been getting really into it over the past year or so.
Oh, interesting. What kind of photography?
Mostly street photography. I love walking around cities with my camera and just capturing moments. People going about their day, interesting light, unexpected details you would normally walk straight past.
That sounds really beautiful, actually. What got you into it?
Honestly, it started during a trip I took to Lisbon a couple of years ago. I borrowed a friend's camera just to take some holiday photos. But something clicked. No pun intended.
Ha, no pun intended. I love that.
I came home and immediately bought my own camera. I have barely put it down since.
That is what a real hobby feels like. You just cannot stop.
Exactly. What about you, Grace? What do you do when you are not at the garden center?
My biggest interest outside of work is actually baking. I have been baking since I was about 8 years old. My grandmother taught me.
That is a lovely origin story.
It really is. There is something very meditative about baking for me. Measuring everything carefully, following a process, and then at the end, you have something real and delicious to show for it.
And you get to eat it.
That is honestly a big part of the appeal, yes. But I also love the creative side, experimenting with flavors, trying new recipes, occasionally failing spectacularly.
Failing spectacularly is a very important part of any hobby.
It really is. Some of my best recipes came out of disasters.
And notice what we just did. We did not just say our hobbies. We talked about how we got into them, what we love about them, and what they mean to us. That is the difference between a one-word answer and a real conversation.
And that is exactly what today is all about. Before we go further, let's build our vocabulary for today. 6 important words that will help you talk about hobbies and interests with much more confidence and color.
Vocabulary section. Let's go.
First word, passion. A passion is something you love deeply and feel very strongly about. It is more intense than just a hobby. You can say, photography is a real passion of mine. Or, she has a passion for storytelling that comes through in everything she does.
The difference between a hobby and a passion is feeling. A hobby is something you enjoy. A passion is something that moves you, something you would do regardless of any reward.
Beautifully said. Next word, leisure. Leisure means free time, time when you are not working or studying, time that belongs entirely to you. You can say, I like to spend my leisure time outdoors, or finding the right balance between work and leisure is really important.
Leisure is a slightly formal word, but it sounds very natural in conversation. It elevates the way you talk about your free time.
Next word, unwind. We actually saw this word in day 3 as well. To unwind means to relax and release the tension of the day. Hobbies are one of the best ways to unwind. You can say, baking really helps me unwind after a long week. Or, I go for a run in the evenings to unwind.
I unwind by watching nature documentaries. There is something about watching animals just living their lives that makes all my problems feel very small.
Huh, that is actually very relatable. Next word, dedicated. If you are dedicated to something, it means you give it serious time, energy, and commitment. You can say, she is incredibly dedicated to her craft. Or, I try to dedicate at least an hour a day to practicing guitar.
Dedication is what separates someone who tries a hobby once from someone who genuinely grows and improves at it over time.
Next word, inspired. To feel inspired means to feel a sudden strong desire to create, try, or do something. You can say, I was so inspired by that exhibition that I went home and painted for 3 hours straight. Or, watching professionals always inspires me to practice more.
Inspiration is the spark. Dedication is what keeps the fire going after the spark.
I love that. And our last vocabulary word today, amateur. An amateur is someone who does something for enjoyment, rather than professionally or for money. It is not a negative word. It simply means you do it for the love of it. You can say, I am just an amateur photographer, but I really enjoy it. Or, she is an amateur baker, but her cakes are honestly better than most professionals.
The word amateur actually comes from the Latin word for love, amare. So an amateur is literally someone who does something out of love. There is something very beautiful about that.
That is one of my favorite word origins. So our 6 vocabulary words today are passion, leisure, unwind, dedicated, inspired, and amateur. Keep them close. You will hear them all very soon.
Now let's talk about how to actually describe hobbies and interests in English conversation.
There are 4 things that make a hobby description genuinely interesting to listen to. What the hobby is, how you got into it, what you love about it, and how it makes you feel.
Most people only do the first one. They say the name of the hobby and stop. But the other 3 are where the real conversation happens.
For what the hobby is, you can use simple phrases. I am really into. I have been getting into. My biggest hobby at the moment is. One of my main interests is.
For how you got into it, I got into it when. It all started when I first tried it about years ago. A friend introduced me to it.
For what you love about it. What I love most is. The best thing about it is, I really enjoy the aspect of it. There is something very about it.
And for how it makes you feel. It makes me feel. It helps me. It gives me. Whenever I do it, I feel.
4 layers. 1 genuine conversation. Let's see it in action. Situation 1. Talking about hobbies with a new friend at a social gathering.
Very common and very natural. This kind of conversation happens everywhere.
I will be someone you just met. Peter, we're at a friend's dinner party.
So, Grace, what do you get up to outside of work?
I am really into baking at the moment. I have been doing it since I was little, but I have gotten much more serious about it over the past couple of years.
Oh, nice. What kind of things do you bake?
Mostly bread and pastries. I am currently obsessed with sourdough. I have been experimenting with different flours and fermentation times. It sounds very nerdy when I say it out loud.
No, it sounds brilliant. I love that kind of detail-oriented hobby.
What about you? What do you do in your leisure time?
Photography, mainly. Street photography. I try to get out on weekend mornings with my camera before the city gets too busy.
That sounds really peaceful. What drew you to street photography specifically?
Honestly, I love that you never know what you are going to capture. Every time is completely different. It keeps me on my toes.
Notice that idiom, keeps me on my toes. To keep someone on their toes means to keep them alert, engaged, and ready for anything. You can say, this job really keeps me on my toes. Or, I love hobbies that keep you on your toes, because you never know what is coming next.
Situation 2. Recommending a hobby to a friend who is feeling bored or uninspired.
This is a very warm and natural conversation that happens between close friends.
Grace, I have been feeling really flat lately. Like I have no energy outside of work. I just come home and sit there.
That sounds really draining. Have you thought about picking up a new hobby?
I would not even know where to start, honestly.
What did you used to enjoy before work took over everything?
I used to draw, actually. Back in school, I was always sketching things. People, buildings, whatever caught my eye.
And when did you stop?
I suppose I just gradually stopped making time for it. Life got in the way.
That happens to so many people. But Peter, that sounds like a real passion waiting to be rediscovered.
Do you think it is too late to get back into it?
It is never too late, and you do not have to be amazing at it. You just have to enjoy it. Start small. Get a sketchbook, spend 20 minutes a day just drawing whatever you see.
That actually sounds really doable.
And I promise you, once you reconnect with something that used to bring you joy, it is like finding a part of yourself you forgot was there.
2 idioms there. First, life got in the way. This is a very natural expression, meaning that the busyness and responsibilities of life prevented you from doing something you wanted or used to do. You can say, I used to play piano, but life got in the way. Or, we always planned to travel more, but life got in the way.
And second, too late to get back into it. While this is not strictly an idiom, get back into is a very important and natural phrasal verb. To get back into something means to start doing something again after a period of not doing it. You can say, I am trying to get back into reading. Or, she got back into painting after a 10-year break. Situation 3. Talking about a hobby during a job interview or professional introduction.
Many interviewers ask about hobbies and interests. It seems casual, but it tells them a lot about who you are.
I will be the interviewer. Peter, you are the candidate. So Peter, outside of your professional life, what do you enjoy doing?
I am really passionate about street photography. I have been doing it for about 3 years now, and it has become a very important part of my life.
That is interesting. What do you enjoy most about it?
I think it has taught me a lot about patience and observation. You can spend an hour walking and not capture anything remarkable, and then in one split second, the perfect moment appears, and you have to be ready.
And do you think that has influenced how you work?
Definitely. I think it has made me much more detail-oriented and patient. I notice things others might miss, and I have learned to stay calm and focused, even when things are not going to plan.
That is a really thoughtful answer.
I also find it helps me unwind completely. After a week of deadlines and screen time, getting outside with my camera on a Saturday morning completely resets me.
Notice what Peter did there. He did not just describe his hobby. He connected it to professional skills like patience, observation, and attention to detail. And he connected it to personal well-being. That kind of answer is genuinely impressive in an interview. It shows self-awareness and depth.
Situation 4. Joining a hobby group or class for the first time.
Many people join clubs, classes, or groups around their hobbies. This is a very common social situation for English learners.
I will be someone already in the group. Grace, you are joining for the first time. Hi there. Is this your first time joining us?
Yes, it is. I am a little nervous, honestly. I am very much an amateur compared to everyone here.
Do not worry at all. Everyone starts somewhere. What got you interested in joining?
I have been baking on my own for years, but I felt like I had hit a wall. I was not improving anymore, and I thought being around other people who love baking might inspire me to try new things.
That is exactly why most people join. The community aspect is honestly the best part.
Really? I was not sure what to expect.
Completely. You will pick up so many tips just from watching others, and people here are very generous about sharing what they know.
That is so reassuring. I'm really hoping to get better at bread making specifically. Sourdough is my nemesis right now.
Sourdough defeats everyone at first, but once it clicks, it really clicks. You will get there.
Two idioms there. First, hit a wall. To hit a wall means to reach a point where you stop making progress and feel stuck. You can say, I hit a wall with my language learning around the intermediate level. Or, she hit a wall with her training and needed to change her approach.
And second, once it clicks. When something clicks, it means you suddenly understand it, or it suddenly starts working for you after a period of struggle. You can say, grammar felt impossible until one day it just clicked. Or keep practicing, and eventually it will click.
Situation 5. Talking about how a hobby changed your life.
This is a deeper and more personal conversation. It shows the real power of having something you are passionate about.
Peter, I remember you were going through a really difficult time about 2 years ago. You seem so much better now. What changed?
Honestly, photography saved me a little bit.
Really? Tell me.
I was going through a really rough patch. Work was stressful, I was not sleeping well, I had kind of lost my sense of direction. I did not really have anything outside of work that was mine.
I remember that time. You seemed very lost.
I was. And then I picked up a camera almost by accident, and something just shifted. Suddenly, I had a reason to go outside, a reason to notice the world around me instead of just being stuck inside my own head.
That is so powerful.
It gave me something that was completely mine. No deadlines, no expectations, no pressure. Just me and my camera and whatever the world decided to show me that day.
I think that is what the right hobby does. It gives you back to yourself.
Perfectly said. And I went from someone who had completely lost their spark to someone who genuinely looks forward to weekends again.
2 things there. First, a rough patch. A rough patch is a period of difficulty, struggle, or unhappiness. You can say, we went through a rough patch last year, but things are much better now. Or, every long-term relationship goes through rough patches.
And second, lost their spark. To lose your spark means to lose your enthusiasm, energy, and zest for life. You can say, she seemed to have lost her spark after leaving that job. Or, finding a new hobby completely reignited his spark. Now, let's bring all our idioms and phrases from today together. You heard every single one naturally in the role plays. Now, let's make sure they stick.
Idioms and phrases section. Here we go.
First, keeps me on my toes, meaning it keeps you alert, engaged, and ready for anything. Example, I love hobbies that keep me on my toes because every experience is different.
Second, life got in the way, meaning the busyness of life prevented you from doing something. Example, I used to paint every weekend, but life got in the way.
Third, get back into, meaning to start doing something again after a break. Example, I have been trying to get back into running after a few months off.
Fourth, hit a wall, meaning to reach a point where you stop making progress. Example, I hit a wall with my guitar playing and decided to take some lessons.
Fifth, once it clicks, meaning once you suddenly understand or it starts working for you. Example, sourdough is difficult at first, but once it clicks, you will never look back.
Sixth, a rough patch, meaning a period of difficulty or struggle. Example, I picked up painting during a rough patch and it genuinely helped me through it.
Seventh, lost their spark, meaning lost enthusiasm and energy for life. Example, he had lost his spark completely until he discovered photography.
Eighth, no pun intended, used after you accidentally make a wordplay or joke. Example, Something just clicked for me. No pun intended.
And ninth, hit a wall versus once it clicks. Notice how these two idioms are natural opposites. Hit a wall is the struggle. Once it clicks is the breakthrough. In any learning journey, you will experience both.
9 idioms and phrases. All yours now. Let's come back to something Peter said right at the very start of today's lesson.
What did I say?
You said you barely put your camera down since that trip to Lisbon.
That is completely true.
And I think that sentence captures something really important about hobbies. The right hobby does not feel like something you add to your life.
It feels like something that was always missing.
Exactly. You do not schedule it reluctantly. You protect it fiercely.
You look forward to it. You think about it when you are doing other things. You want to get better at it, not because anyone is watching, but because it matters to you.
And that kind of joy, that private, personal, genuine joy, that is something worth talking about.
Especially in English.
Because when you can share your passions confidently in English, you are not just communicating information. You are letting someone see who you really are.
And that is one of the most powerful things language can do.
Let's recap today together. Not as a checklist, just two friends looking back.
We opened by talking about our own hobbies, photography and baking, and I think that immediately made the topic feel warm and real.
Through that casual chat, we covered how to describe a hobby in 4 layers. What it is, how you got into it, what you love about it, and how it makes you feel.
Then we learned 6 vocabulary words: passion, leisure, unwind, dedicated, inspired, and amateur.
Then we did 5 role-play situations. Meeting a new friend at a dinner party, recommending a hobby to a struggling friend, talking about hobbies in a job interview, joining a hobby group for the first time, and talking about how a hobby changed your life.
And woven naturally through all 5 situations were 9 idioms and phrases, which we then reviewed together in our dedicated section.
The big lesson today is this. Hobbies are not small talk. They are windows into who you are. And now you have the English to open that window confidently. And now, the question we asked you at the very beginning.
Our question of the day.
What is one hobby or interest that you would happily talk about for hours?
Tell us in the comments. What is it? How did you get into it? And what does it give you that nothing else does?
3 to 4 sentences in English. We read every single comment, and we are always genuinely moved by your answers.
Before we go, thank you. Thank you for showing up for day 5.
5 days in a row. You are not just learning English anymore. You are building a habit, a real and consistent practice.
And just like any hobby worth having, the more you put in, the more you get back.
We will see you tomorrow for day 6. Do not miss it.
You can do it. We are cheering for you every single day.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye for now.